I look crazy today, and I've got Max sitting just over here hiccuping, so I know whenever I film and he's around, he's hiccuping. Ignore the hair. I'm gonna do another Dupe the Vibes video using the Natasha Denona Mini Retro palette. Now this is a palette that I'm on my feed, and I think there's at least 5 reviews on there at the moment. It is the palette of the moment. For how long, who knows? You know, makeup, new releases, they come and go. I mean, I can barely keep up with anything these days. It's a palette that I think is interesting. Not personally my taste. I do not like pinks in general, especially cool tone pinks. And I thought there were grays and silver as well in the palette, but when I look at the swatches, it's actually kind of more of a green. However, when applied on the eyes, in every review that I've seen, in every marketing image, the green looks like a gray on the eyes, which is why this palette really does not tick any of my boxes, because I stay far away from grays. I stay far away from cool tone pinks because they just don't look good on me. And I feel like a lot of people, this palette isn't necessarily going to be the most flattering. So I think Natasha Denona, as usual, is extremely great at marketing and making us feel like we need the latest and greatest thing. But I feel like these kind of colors have come and they've gone years and years and years ago. And now these kind of cooler tones are back in. So I'm gonna try and recreate the look that Natasha Denona's done, testing my assumption that I think these colors will look really bad on me. So I'm gonna have to go through my palettes, and I don't think I'll find a single palette with this particular color story altogether, but I'm pretty sure I can find these kind of similar shades. 3 out of the 5, I believe, are existing, and I do think I have some of those. So I'm gonna tie my hair up first. Okay, so I have pulled out these 3 Natasha Denona palettes because I believe that those shades, I thought that those shades were from the existing palettes. However, I have to say, some of them look a little bit different. We've got Vintage Taupe, which is this one. And I'm not sure, I'm looking at the Sephora website. I think they've gotten the swatch names wrong, I believe, because Industrial, they're saying, is this matte color, but I think that this is actually Vintage Taupe. It looks a lot lighter in this palette than it does in the swatch. I'm gonna use Galaxia, which is this very messy, shimmery shade from the Star palette. And then I'm going to use Industrial, which is this shade from the 28 Green Brown palette, which I have not used in years. For the grayish toned green, I've got this Numeric Proof palette, and this color looks kind of similar, although I would have to say this color actually looks way more green than the actual swatches. So on Natasha Denona's Instagram, she's got this image of this model who's got this kind of pink inner eye, more gray here, and then again kind of like pink in the crease. I don't really see where that green gray is. Again, I think that green just looks gray in every marketing image, and like I said, everyone I've seen used it has looked like they've just put a matte gray on. Let's zoom you in so you can see what's happening on my face. I'm really sorry, but it's really gray outside. Hopefully I'm not gonna look like ghostly. Gonna add some primer. I am gonna start by adding some of the shade Vintage Taupe in the inner part of the eyelid. I don't know, this might be a little bit too dark, but we'll see. I'll be honest, I can't remember the last time I used this palette. When did I get it? A while ago, and I don't think I've ever used it on camera. But I know this palette hasn't gotten really good reputation. I'm not expecting too much of it. Natasha Denona is one of those brands that is very kind of hit and miss, and I just feel like for the price point, it's not great. That, you know, you don't necessarily know what you're gonna get each time she releases something. These shades already look, I feel, terrible on me, and I think on my eyelids it looks a little bit dark compared to what is in, you know, the image. So I am going to take a bit of Nudist, which is that lighter pink shade, and just add it on top to lighten it up because it's just too dark, I feel. I'm also going to take it a little bit into the crease as well, the shade Nudist. I don't know, what do you guys think about these cool tones pinks that are coming out left, right, and center? I don't think I can fully get off the warm toned colors because those are the colors that really suit me. Next, I think I'm gonna add some of that green. I'm gonna put that on the mobile lid, and then I will layer the metallic gray on top to give it a bit of that green base to it. I don't actually hate this color. I think this color looks quite quite nice, but with the pink, I just think it's such an unusual pairing. It's definitely not one that I would have thought of. And I think that's why this palette has gained a lot of interest and attention, because it's not a typical cool tone palette. To be absolutely honest, I'm still unsure of this pairing. I don't know, what do you guys think? Is this a palette that interests you? And if so, let me know why, because I don't think I am the target audience. I'm gonna go back in with that pink and just blend it in. Okay, I'm gonna take Industrial, which is the gray. I don't actually mind the shade. I think this shade is really pretty. And I'm gonna pat it on top of the green. Of course, you can use a brush. I don't know, lately I have been using my fingers a lot for adding eyeshadow. Okay, this is old school makeup application using fingers. In the image, the model's like she's taking up the eyeshadow all the way to the brow, which I hardly ever do. I just hate the look on my eye shape, so I'm not gonna do that. But I will take it up a bit higher than I might usually go, like my brow bone. Not my brow bone, but this bone kind of right here. Is that the brow bone? I'm still very unsure about this. I'm also gonna add Industrial on the lower lash line as well, because I feel like that's where she's placed it in the image. This eyeshadow does have a lot of micro glitter in it, so just be very careful with not getting it into your eye. I believe it's mica. I don't think it's actually glitter, but it's not pleasant when you get in your eye. I am gonna add a bit more of that greenish gray on the lower lash line to give it a little bit more depth, because I think her under eye area looks a bit deeper. I mean, paired with the gray, it does look like it's gray, which I'm not the biggest fan of. I'm gonna add some on the upper lash line to define it a bit more. I want to add a bit of glittery kind of pink. Where do I have that? Maybe Moonstone. I think Moonstone looks kind of similar. Not quite, but add it in the inner corner. And I don't feel like I often do this anymore, because I feel like it can look a little bit, I don't know, dated, because I think everyone kind of has a bit more of a softer inner corner highlight now. And I think I will kind of clean it up with some foundation. I am probably gonna need to add some glitter glue with Galaxia, because it is gets everywhere. I literally just spent the last 10 minutes trying to find a glitter glue, which I've finally got. Using the Too Faced one to give it a bit more of that sparkle. In the marketing images, the look looks super glittery. So I'm gonna try and attempt that same thing. Okay, Galaxia. Super chunky. So I'm gonna tap off the excess on my hand and go for it. I think I was watching Kelsey Brianna J's review on this palette, and she was saying that the shades are actually not similar at all. The one from this Star palette and the Galaxia in the new Retro palette, the texture's a bit better and the shade is a little bit warmer. Which, this looks awful. Oh, I just think I screwed this up. You know what? Not gonna add Galaxy on the eye, because I don't think I want to wreck that eye. I feel like this Fenty How Many Carats highlighter would kind of have a similar effect. So I'm gonna use that instead, and the texture of this is so much nicer. It's not chunky at all. It's very smooth, very light reflective, as you can see. Look at that. I'm gonna just cover it up and hopefully just make that look better. But now I feel like I've taken away a lot of the pink, so I'm probably gonna have to go back in with that pink. This look is just so incredibly glittery that it's really out of my comfort zone. You might know I don't do looks like this very frequently, if ever. Gonna go back in with some pink. This looks really messy. It looks really messy. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean up my base and then go back in, add more layers as I see fit. Because right now, I feel like because I haven't got my base on, I feel like it's very distracting as to how this is gonna look like in the end. I'm one of those people that for the most part likes to have my base done first. That's Max. Why did I give him a toy that makes sounds? I'll be right back. Okay, now that I've got my base on, I feel like I can get an idea of what more I want to add. And I definitely want to grunge up my lower lash line as well as my lash line. I think I'm going to add some black and then just smoke it out with a brush. I'm going to use the same brush I did before. It doesn't have to be perfect, because I feel like that's part of the look, you know, it's supposed to be a bit messy and not super polished. I think I do want to add a little bit more of that pink up in the crease area, quite high up again than what I usually do. Add a little bit more of this super shiny, glittery kind of thing I think I've come pretty close to what she's done. Although it was a journey similar to last week. Now for blush, I am going to go in with this Viseart shade. This is a cool toned pink. So I feel like in the marketing image, she does have some of that same pink or a similar pink on her cheeks as well, quite high up. I don't like that pink. I think I'm going to have to mix it with a bit of a deeper pink because I just think that doesn't quite match. You know what? I'm just going to go in with some of the eyeshadow, the Natasha Denona one, because at least I know that's going to match the eyeshadow exactly. Have I gone too overboard? Possibly. I'm going to take my foundation brush and just kind of blend the edges. Lipstick, I'm going to use Cami from Colourpop. I'm also going to add some gloss on top, just like what Natasha Denona has done. I'm going to add this one from Soooo because it's a little bit brown. And I think I'm calling that a day. So this is the final look. And you know what? I have to say I am actually surprised. I actually don't think it looks too terrible. Overall, I'm actually really happy with this look. I did not think I would like grays and pinks together, but I think it actually works. It's weird. I think it works. It's definitely not one, again, that I would have naturally paired together. I actually think that this looks pretty nice. What do you think? Are you as shocked as me? I think for a while, everything was kind of going downhill for a bit, especially when I tried to add in Galaxia from the Star palette. That shade is so bad, so bad. I don't think the Star palette is very good in my opinion. This is so much better. By the way, Mary made me buy this. She raved on and on about how great she likes this. And I love this for the eyes. On the cheeks, it's just too much for me, but I love this on the eyes. I do think that this added a really nice glittery finish to the eyelid. And if you wanted to be extra, you could even add some eye gloss as well. Having said that, even though I do like this look, I still wouldn't go ahead and buy this palette just because to me, this palette is kind of like the equivalent of having a trendy item in your wardrobe. It's nice for a season, but then the next season you're probably not going to wear it because this is definitely not something that I would wear regularly. So for me, it would be not wise to be spending $45, which is, this is how much a palette costs in Australia. $45, it would be wise to spend that money. So as much as I do like it, I do think that the color story surprised me on my eyelids. But yeah, I am actually really happy that I can dupe this palette, this kind of trendy palette, with what I have, and I'm sure you can too. I do encourage you to do that, especially if you're, again, like me, and you know for a fact that you aren't going to be wearing these colors on a regular basis. Again, let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are. Let me know if there's any other palettes you'd like to see, and we're going to try and dupe them because I'm game to take up a challenge. I'm sure a lot of people that are watching beauty YouTube do have a large collection already. There's just so much makeup out there and we don't need more. I certainly don't. Let's help each other out and shop our stash. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.